I started meditating about 30 years ago. I learned my first meditation techniques from my first martial arts teacher. So the single point in mind meditation technique is a very powerful concentration technique for meditation. And it involves concentrating on particular chakras. And the chakras are energy centers in our energy body. Not only do you develop concentration and the ability to hold your mind still, but once you become adept at this particular meditation technique on the chakras, you can raise the Kundalini energy. And the Kundalini energy is a very powerful energy of transformation.
And we are live. Bong. Welcome back to day 5, 30 days to raise your frequency. And I hope you're doing well out there. Before we get started with the live guided meditation, wait for a few people to come on, I'd like to talk about a few tips of how to raise your frequency. And what does it mean to raise your frequency? Everything is energy, and everything has a different frequency. A frequency is a way to measure something's vibrational rate. How quickly is something vibrating, let's say. I'm not even sure vibration is the correct word. To me, frequency is how quickly something comes in and out of existence. So if everything is energy and everything has a different frequency, certain things have a lower frequency, certain things have a higher frequency. So a couple different things we can do to raise our own frequency right now is, number 1, choose high frequency foods. And a few choices of high frequency foods we have are fruits, raw fruits. Personally, I love apples. What's your favorite kind of apple out there, my friends? I love Fuji apples. Get the organic kind. An apple has a high frequency. Any type of raw fruit, whether you like oranges, bananas, berries, strawberries, blueberries, all raw fruit will have a very high vibrational frequency because it's alive. Anything that's alive versus something that's dead is going to have a high frequency, a higher energy to it. So when we eat high frequency foods, it adds to our high frequency. And inversely, when we eat low frequency foods, it's going to lower our frequency. So what are some lower frequency foods that we should probably avoid or limit at this time? Because we're all quarantined, because we're all kind of stuck at home, limited to the amount of time that we go out. Maybe we're going out to the grocery store, doing some quick errands. What we want to try to do is stock up on the high frequency foods. The fruits, the vegetables, anything that's a raw food will have a high frequency at this time. And if we can limit our trips to the drive-thrus, if we can limit our trips to the grocery store to get those comfort foods at this time, that would probably be a good idea. Because while it might feel good initially, when we eat that sugar, when we eat that ice cream, cake, cookies, it's actually a very low vibrational frequency to those types of comfort foods. So avoid too much greasy foods, dead foods. Avoid too much junk foods at this time. Try to eat as much raw fruit, vegetables. These are very high in frequency. So that's one of my tips for you at this time to raise your frequency. So it's very important what you eat, or you add or subtract to your energy levels based on what you eat, which is why the right foods are so important, which is why many Buddhists, many yogis, many high meditators practice vegetarianism. Personally, I'm not a vegetarian, but I can see the benefits to it, because when you eat dead flesh, whether it's steak, whether it's chicken, whatever it might be, it's got a low vibrational frequency to it. So So think about what you eat at this time. It's very important. Choose those high frequency foods. The second tip that I have for you out there is get in some cardio. Whether it be going for a walk outside on a nice day where you can get some sunshine, or whether you're at home and you've got some exercise equipment, whether it's an exercise bike, an elliptical, or whether you just want to work out to some type of video on YouTube or whatever it might be, the more we do our cardio exercise at this time, the more we will detoxify and we will sweat, release toxins, and we will kind of break up the energy. Cardio, believe it or not, is very much like meditation, in that when you sit down to do a cardio session, or you stand up or you go out to do a cardio session, it could be running, it could be biking, outdoors, it could just be going for a walk. That cardio session will heat up the body. That cardio session will detoxify the body, will allow you to sweat. And this will detoxify not only the physical body, but also the aura. A lot of people aren't familiar with the fact that cardio exercise, it's very important for cleansing the aura, for getting rid of any type of stuck energy. So if you're meditating out there and you just can't seem to get past a certain level in your meditation, get beyond a certain limit in your meditation, the two things you need to look at are what you eat and how much exercise you're getting, because those two factors can be extremely important in raising your frequency. And when you're at home, again, if you don't want to go outside, you can just work out at home in your living room, put on a video, put on an exercise video on YouTube, do some yoga, do some cardio. There's a lot of different cardio programs out there. Something like P90X will really push you to that limit of sweating. And when we push ourselves to the limit physically, emotionally, mentally, with exercise, that definitely helps our meditation. See, I look at everything as the same. Everything is one. The efforts we put out here will also be the same efforts that we put out here. So, and conversely, if you're trying extremely hard within your meditation, that ability to push through will translate to everything else. And this is something that I call Kung Fu. Being a martial artist, I see everything as Kung Fu. Everything is our ability. And meditation is the one thing that can sharpen the edge of your ability. And it's good to have some sharp edges, because our minds are like an overgrown garden of weeds. And we need to slash, we need to cut, we need to pull, we need to uproot all those weeds. And that takes a certain amount of willpower, because those weeds are what get in the way of our high meditation. Those mental weeds that grow are something that gets in the way of our happiness, ultimately. So, those two tips today of eating high frequency foods, fruits, raw vegetables, raw fruits, and getting in some cardio exercise will be very beneficial for you, for your meditation at this point. So, we're going to do a guided meditation today. And during this 30 days to raise your frequency, I'm coming on here every day doing a guided meditation of the 5 steps to stillness. This is a meditation program that I practice and that I teach. It involves 5 steps. And step number 1 is concentration on the yantra. Now you can concentrate on any object, but I'm going to show you the yantra here. If you haven't seen it already, because I'm showing it every day, and I'm sorry if this is getting redundant for some of you who are tuning in every day, just hang in there real quick. You can print this out at the top of the group. Step number 1 is simply focusing on that dot. What this does is it gives you a visual focus so that with your eyes, you're able to focus on one thing. What this does is it stills the mind very rapidly. And by focusing on that central dot with our eyes, when our eyes are still, our mind is still. The eyes are very much connected to the activity within our minds. And so this is a great way to warm up the concentration. So we start with step 1, focusing on the yantra. Then we move into step 2, 3, and 4. We're going to focus on 3 different chakras. So on step 2, we focus on the navel chakra. And when we're focusing on the chakras, what we're doing is we're feeling the spot through the ability to feel, which may be challenging at first. I understand. If it's a new process for you and you haven't practiced before, if you haven't done any type of energy work, feeling energy, feeling chi, or pranayama, or any type of yoga, martial arts, meditation before, feeling can be a challenging art or skill. Because what are we actually feeling when we're feeling the chakras? The chakras are in our energy body. The energy body is also called the subtle physical body, also called the emotional body. It's the body of energy that surrounds our physical body, and this body of energy has chakras, energy channels called nadis or meridians, central channels, channels all over, chakras all over actually. So we deal with these 3 primary chakras, the navel, heart, and third eye in this particular meditation. So when you focus on each chakra, try to hold your attention and feel the spot. And we do this with practice. Over time, you get better at it. When the mind wanders, when the mind tends to fall in its natural tendency to think or wander or be distracted by bodily sensations or memories or that, song you got going on in your head, just return your awareness back to feeling the chakra. Okay? Then we move up to the third eye, and then after the third eye, in the 5th step, we let go completely, and we just allow the momentum of the stillness to take us beyond ourselves. And it's important at this time to just be very still and just allow the stillness to overtake you. Because what is the process of meditation truly about? It's about transcending the self. And what is the self? Transcending the separate identity that we've created in order to unite with the divine, in order to reconnect with the universe, reconnect with light, with God, whatever you want to call it. So the process of meditation has many different steps. And in the beginning, it's just learning how to concentrate. And over time, learning how to just, get beyond the tendencies of mind. And within each meditation session, you'll find that you get better. You get more familiar with the process. It's like any art or skill. If this is the first few times that you're trying it, over the course of a couple weeks, you'll be leaps and bounds ahead of where you started. So this is why we're coming on every day and doing the 30 days to raise your frequency. So join me in today's meditation. We're going to be meditating to music, and I'm going to guide you through the meditation as we go. The music itself is a very high frequency music. So even if you just tune into the music and listen and feel what the music is evoking in your emotional body, that'll raise your frequency right there. All right, so let's pull up that music. I got my Bluetooth speaker ready to go. Ready to rock. And if you have any questions about the meditation, feel free to message me right here on Facebook. I'm also including daily a downloadable PDF guide to the 5 steps to stillness meditation. So it makes it very easy to follow along. And if you need a little bit more coaching, if you need some attention about how to do the technique, I'm offering a 30-day coaching program, probably starting April 1st. We're going to go through the month of April. It's going to be a 4-week program. It's a 30-day program. I've done this before with students. They love it. They come out the other end extremely proficient at the meditation technique because it does take practice. But once you start to get it and see the results, especially when you come out of the meditation, you feel you're in the moment. You feel that you're present. You feel a change. And meditation should be about change. If it's not about change, then you're just simply sitting down to meditate to feel good for a moment, and then you come out and you're back to your old self. Well, that doesn't sound very productive to me. Sure, it can be a good time to sit down and feel good, but I think meditation should change your mind. You know, we talked about all these tendencies that the mind has, and the mind can be reshaped. You can overcome these tendencies, and you'll notice all the tendencies when you begin to discipline the mind in the meditation technique. All right, so let's get started, my friend. So when you do notice your mind wander, just bring it right back to where we're focusing. Okay, so let's start. We've got our yantra up on the wall. If for some reason you don't have the yantra printed out, you can just listen to the music on the first song. And when you listen deeply, it's the same thing as a single pointed focus. Okay, let me pull up the proper Bluetooth speaker here. So we can use any one of our senses to do the single pointed mind. And the ability to feel is our sixth sense. It's our intuition. It's beyond the five senses. And this is the true bridge to meditation, is to go beyond the five senses. Because guess what? We won't have a body forever. Oh my gosh. You mean this is only temporary, Rob? Yes, my friend, I know. I know we've all become attached to our bodies and to our lives. And, you know, I kid, but you know the deal. It's true. We need to slowly become less attached to everything. This is the process of meditation. Because if you're attached to something, that's the thing that's going to block you from moving ahead, from moving beyond. Okay? Here we go. Beginning with step one. We're seated, good posture. Take a big deep breath. Where your attention is, where your mind is, that's where you are. You are your awareness. Yeah, you have a body. Yeah, you've got an identity, but those are just thoughts. Truly, the essence and the core of who we really are is our awareness, consciousness, beyond and behind it all. So we're going to go from concentration to consciousness. Beginning with the yantra, focus the eyes intensely on the central dot. If you don't have a yantra, just listen deeply to the music. Moving on to step 2, we're going to focus on our navel chakra. Place the fingertips gently, about an inch below your belly button. Press and feel the spot. Bring your attention to the navel center. Feel the fingertip press into that area. Once you've locked in, remove the finger and continue to feel the spot. If the mind wanders, just bring it back to feeling the spot. Try to hold it there with some intensity. Now, move your attention up to your heart chakra. Place your fingertips at the center of the chest. Press gently and bring your attention to that spot. Feel the energy at that spot. Once we've locked on with our attention, remove the finger and continue to hold your awareness on feeling the heart chakra. When the mind wanders, simply return and hold steady. Nothing else exists right now but the heart chakra. Now move your attention to your third eye. Place the fingertip between the eyebrows and slightly above. Press gently Lock on and feel. Continue to feel the third eye. Remove the finger. Hold still. Step 5. Continue to hold still, but let go of all focus, let go of all concentration, and surrender. Let go of the body, let go of the emotions, let go of the energy, let go of the mind. Just be still. And take a moment to come back to your body. Take a deep breath. Get a little stretch. Awesome. That's it. You know, meditation can teach you a lot about yourself. When we try to discipline our minds and hold it at one point and be very still, when we notice all the tendencies that our mind has to wander, and we constantly have to keep centering, bringing our mind back to the chakra, be it step 1, 2, 3, or 4. And even in step 5, we'll notice that we still have these tendencies to look through our eyes, even though our eyes are closed. Or we have these tendencies to dart around with our awareness at various different things. And if we just allow this process to happen and become that silent observer, that witness, what we're doing is we are teaching ourselves to be and not do. And that's a very hard thing for most of us, because we're constantly doing. And meditation is not a doing, it's a being. So step 5 is really the meditation. Prior to step 5, it's all about concentration, the ability to concentrate at such a fine point without the distraction of anything else. We have to forget about ourselves. We have to forget about the world just for a moment in order to truly practice this single-pointed mind concentration. So if it seems challenging at first, my friends, don't be discouraged. It takes practice. I myself still struggle with holding my mind perfectly still. But the longer we practice, the more intensely we focus, that willpower becomes stronger. And even if we just try our best, when we come out of the meditation, you'll be changed. You'll be impressed by how different you might view the world. Everything will seem new, like you've been away for a moment. It's kind of like coming home after a vacation to your house and you haven't seen it in a week or two, and it all seems new, right? That's kind of like how it should feel after your meditation, is that you've been away. And then when you return to your normal senses, to your body, it's a sense of newness that should take over. So that's it for today, my friends. Thanks again for joining me. I hope you're doing well out there. And again, if you have any questions or comments, just drop them right below in the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks again. Take care.